So let's work through one more example with you here. I'm just going to share my screen and there we go. And let's have a look. All right, so example 3b, we're looking at a division question. So 4x minus 10 over x plus 3 divided by 12x squared minus 60x plus 75 all over 2x squared minus 18. Okay, so let's just remember our process here. We want to state our non-permissible values, but in order to do that, we need to factor first. And also remember that a division means you're taking your second expression and you're going to flip and multiply. And I know that sounds very formulaic. We've already talked through the reasons for that. Okay, the easiest way to factor, of course, is to look for a GCF. And I think that all three of those probably have a GCF. So I'm just going to start and do a little bit of rough work here. I've got a GCF of 2. If I factored that out, I'd get 2x minus 5. I think there I've got a GCF of 3. And if I factored that out, I would get a 4x squared minus 20x plus 25. And obviously here I've got a GCF of 2 and I'm going to get x squared minus 9. All right, just to keep that in mind, because in order to factor, it's really easier if you start with it with the GCF out. Okay, so let's just take our first term here, that 4x minus 10, and I'm going to start writing everything in factored form. 2 times 2x minus 5 all over, and let's put that binomial in brackets so we don't get tempted to cancel terms instead of factors. And then remember that when we have this division, we are going to turn it into a multiplication, which means that 2x squared minus 9 goes up on the top. And while I'm at it, x squared minus 9 is x plus 3 times x minus 3. And this 12x squared minus 60x plus 75 goes on the bottom, which is 3. And I'm going to take that trinomial and factor it at the same time. Okay, so in order to factor that, remember that we are looking for two things that add to negative 20 and that multiply to 4 times 25, multiply to 100. In fact, as I start doing this, I think I see a perfect square trinomial. So let me just write it here and then you double check for me if that actually works. So is 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5 going to give me 4x squared? Minus 10 gives me minus 20, negative gives me the positive. All right, let me just erase my mess. I guess the stuff I'm erasing we could all think of as what we do on scrap paper to keep our work nice and neat. Okay, so this ended up being 2x minus 5 and 2x minus 5. Of course, you could have written it as squared. Now, I've got everything factored. I need to go to my non-permissible values. Okay, I think my highlighting is going to confuse you here, so let me just take it off. Okay, my non-permissible values are coming from this original equation here. And my non-permissible values come from denominators that are 0. X plus 3 can't be 0. There's a denominator. 2x squared minus 18 can't be 0. Hidden, there is another denominator. Why am I saying that? Because that ends up down there. Okay, so these are the 3 places I'm looking for my non-permissible values. Where'd they go? Here they are. Factored form, here they are. Factored form, here they are. Okay, so looking at those highlighted, my non-permissible values, what can't x equal? Well, it can't be -3. Over here, it can't be 5/2. Same thing. Can't be -3, said it, can't be +3. So can't be positive or -3, plus or minus 3, and it can't be 5/2. Okay, now that we've stated all of those non-permissible values, oops. I better stop doing that. What went on the top there? I think a 2. Let's start canceling our like terms. Okay, so the x plus 3 here, and remember we're multiplying everything. So this x plus 3 can cancel this x plus 3 because I'm multiplying by x plus 3 and dividing by x plus 3. I'm multiplying by 2x minus 5, and then I'm dividing by 2x minus 5. And it looks like I've got everything canceled. So this then is coefficient 2 times 2, 4. What's left on the top? A factor of x minus 3. What's left in the denominator? 3. And the other factor, 2x minus 5. All right, so there's our final answer. And I would like you to take and work through question C. I will write out, so you pause the video, start working on it, and then come back and I will have the correct answer written up here. Okay, I did this in a couple of steps. I did my flip and multiply right here and pulled out my GCF at the same time. Okay, now I'm going to take and I'm going to factor each of these terms. Of course, this is where I'm getting my restrictions from. Yes, I wrote them in first. Of course, at this point, I wouldn't actually know what they are. Before I start, 3/3 gives me 1. Let's just simplify that. So x minus 2, and this one factored as x minus 7x plus 3. And I still have this 3, x minus 7, and x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, now I'm going to state all my restrictions. My restrictions are coming from the denominator, hopefully that worked, from the denominator. Oh my goodness. Got to pay attention here. X, I think that said minus 7. They're coming from my denominator. This x minus 7, it went right here. This x squared minus 4 got factored here. This x squared minus 4x minus 21 got factored there. Okay, so what are the restrictions? X can't be 7, can't be plus or minus 2, can't be 7, already said it, can't be -3. This x minus 2 isn't a restriction, although it did come up back down there. Okay, cancel common factors. I got an x minus 7 on the top and the bottom, an x minus 2 on the top and the bottom, and here's what we're left with. Left with x plus 3, all divided by 3 times x plus 2. Okay, so that was really the hardest example there. Go take out your workbooks and have a look at page 537, work through the examples there. At the end of this unit, I'll be posting some things on Google Math, on Delta Math.